everybody, welcome to Harmon Garage. I'm Aaron. Today we are going to work on one of my personal vehicles. This is my daily driver or shop truck, whatever you want to call it. But it's a 77 Chevy C20, 3/4 ton, 2-wheel drive. And seen better days. I actually found this with trees growing through it behind a barn a couple years ago. And I got it to where it'd run and get me where I needed to go. But I never fixed all the stuff on it that it needs fixed. So it's got an inline 6 with a SM465 manual transmission. Does a real good job for what it is. It gets around pretty good, but I put a different seat in it because the one that was in here was trashed and disgusting. Obviously it needs a new floor mat. Dash is wrecked. But I keep getting pulled over for no seat belts because it doesn't have seat belts in it, and turn signals don't work, running lights don't work. It has headlights and brake lights, and that's about it. So figure now would be a good time to get going and just fix it up a little bit. I've kind of been collecting parts for it to make it nicer. I'm not trying to restore it, make it a show truck or nothing, but just make it a more comfortable driver. So got a bunch of parts for it. Got sun visors, just dash trim pieces. The glove box is completely broke, so I'm just gonna shoot this one white and put it in there. Got a new headlight switch and a dimmer switch because the headlights work but only on low beam. I got some marker lights and everything to put them in for the holes in the bed back here. I got a dash that's not new, but it's in a lot better shape than the one that's in there. Got new armrests, new door panels, weather stripping. I got the seat belts. So I'm gonna get started on trying to get the lights all working right. And then after that, we'll start cleaning the interior up a little bit. So I'm gonna get a camera set up for you guys and we'll figure out what's going on with the lights. All right, first thing I'm gonna do is try to get the parking lights working. As you can see, the wiring in this thing is really clean and organized. So I think the headlight switch is bad, and it's a big part of it, so I'm gonna replace the headlight switch, and then while we're in there, we're gonna go ahead and do the dimmer switch because that should fix the low beam, high beam problem too. And then one thing I didn't add is the wipers have never worked since I got it. So I'm gonna go ahead and replace the wiper arm, put new blades on it, and then we're gonna check and see if it's the motor or the switch that's bad, and I'll show you guys how to do all that. But there's a lot of stuff we can do. So let's get started on the headlights. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and pull this trim panel off around the gauges and the headlight switch and stuff. You can change the headlight switch out without taking it off, but I'm gonna be messing with the switch for the wipers and a bunch of other stuff too. And I'm gonna be taking the dash pad off to switch it out. So changing the, or taking this panel off is gonna make everything else easier. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pull it off. All you gotta do to pull this off is just take all these Phillips head screws out that go around it, and it pulls right out. Okay, so on these headlight switches, there's a button back here that you push in, pull the headlight switch out, push the button in, and then you can pull this out. And then take this deal loose. I don't know if screwdriver's a lot better method for this, but I got my knife in my pocket, so. Just get it out real quick. Guess I should show you guys before I unplug this. Headlights are on right now. I got no lights in the back. Got no parking lights whatsoever. And I just got headlights, that's it. So I'm hoping changing this parking light or the headlight switch is going to fix this. If not, it's in the wiring somewhere and we'll just have to figure it out. Sorry about the lighting, it's kind of dark inside the truck here. Let's take that and unplug it. And I got a brand new switch here. I'll just take it, plug it right back in. It's a little notch in this, so it can only sit in there one way. Got that going. Alright, so we got our new switch in. And still no parking lights. So nothing in the back, nothing in the front. So we'll move on from there. Okay, so I did some digging and I figured it out. Got parking lights now all the way around the truck. I'm gonna do my best to show you here. I looked over a wiring schematic and this red wire right here is supposed to be hot all the time. That runs your headlights. And then these two orange wires right here are for your courtesy dome lights, but they have to be hot at all times. And that's where this brown wire, which is the parking lights, gets its power feed from. Well, somewhere along the line, these two orange wires, I went and looked at another truck I had to see where they hooked up. And there's supposed to be, you can see the wire that I put in there. There's supposed to be a whole harness that plugs in there with those two orange wires in it. And somewhere along the lines from when this truck was new until now, that harness is just gone. So I went ahead and ran my own wire, hooked it in there, and hooked it to my orange wire here. So it's all the way it was from the factory. I just added it back in myself. So we got that done. I'm gonna go ahead and button that up, get that headlight switch back in, and then we'll move on to the next thing. All right, I'm kind of at a standstill on the switches, or on the electrical, because I need to get a couple switches and stuff, so. And it's hard to film the electrical anyways, because it's not easy to get camera angles where you need to and whatnot. So I'm gonna go ahead and start doing some other stuff. First thing I'm gonna do is replace this window belt. And I'll show you on the new one how it mounts and goes in. I can show you here. It's got these little tabs, and then in the door there's little grooves, and you got to get those tabs down in those grooves and push it down in there. So I'm going to grab the new one and we'll throw that in. These window cranks have a little clip in them. Just get in there with like a little 90-degree pick or something. And then they got this little clip. Pop this clip out, and what I always do, as soon as I get it out, stick it back in there, because now I can just go ahead, push that back on, and it'll lock in. So you don't want to lose those, they're a pain in the butt. I got my new door panel here. I ordered it from LMC Truck. It's not sponsored or anything, I bought it. But they're pretty nice quality stuff. I've used them before. They come with new screws and the pop-in clips, all that kind of stuff, so that's nice. So we're going to go ahead and put our clips in the door. I got these circle deals, and there's a little notch out of one side, so you can take that notch and kind of stick it in there, and then you twist it, like screw it in kind of. You do about 2/3 of a turn or so, and they're all the way in and locked in. Alright, I got all my clips in. So we're going to go ahead and install this now. These door panels come with the interior window sweep on them, so we don't need that. Try to get you guys back here where you can see the whole door panel. So and take it easy when you put these in, because you gotta hook the door handle in through here. And these older door panels are door handles are really easy to break off. Kind of carefully set that on there. And I'll take our screws that were provided with the door panel. There's a bunch of different lengths, so you gotta kind of pay attention to what you're doing. I left the two long ones sitting over there because they're gonna go for the armrest pad. There's a pile of ones that are all the same length, and then you got one that's just one that's shorter. The shorter one is going to go here by the door handle. If you put a longer one in there, it's going to scrape the crap out of your window. So you want to make sure you put the short one there. And then make sure all our clips are in. Going to grab our armrest or door pull, whatever you want to call it. You want to make sure before you put this down on there to look through the holes in the door panel and make sure that both of your clips are lined up. Because if they get moved a little bit, you're not going to be able to find them and you're just going to stab a screw down into nothing. That's all good and tight. And then we got our window crank knob with the clip in it. Just go ahead and push it back on, make sure it's latched, and make sure the window still goes up and down. Anytime you put any new kind of trim in, the window's going to be nice and tight, which is good because then you got a good seal. But window still rolls up, still goes down, it's tight. We'll have to find some lock knobs that never had them before. I know I got some laying around somewhere, so I'll grab some to put on there. Okay, so I got my new door molding, weather stripping, whatever you want to call it here. When you go to take the original ones off, they usually have the ends where they come together, like up in the front or in the back somewhere. I always put it directly at the bottom in the middle, because then you can put your trim piece back down on it and it covers it up and holds it together. So you just take this, walk it around, and smash it down in that pinch seam. Should be fairly tight and hard to push on. If it's not, your weather stripping is going to be loose. You're going to want to get some weather strip adhesive. Put it on there. This one's nice and tight like it should be, so I don't have to put anything on there. These are never the right length, so you want to lay it all the way out first, and then you're going to go back and trim it. I already trimmed this one a little bit, but I didn't trim it enough, so just go ahead and... It's got some heavy wire in it, so it's not that easy to cut. It's not super hard, but you need a pair of wire cutters, dikes, something like that to cut through it. Make sure it's pushed in good all the way around. You guys can see it there. Got it in. I didn't get it pushed all the way in around the dash pad. It's real tight against the dash pad, but I'm going to pull that dash pad off to switch it out. So we'll get it pushed on there good when we do that. So now I can go ahead and take my kick plate or door trim. I'm not sure what it's actually called, but I'll take this and stick it back in there. And the little edge that's sticking out here goes in between where the door molding goes on the pinch weld, and then the actual weather stripping piece itself slides inside of there. Okay, I got the seatbelt done. It was a pain to try to film it. I know I always say that, but there's not really a good angle you can get at to show you. So when I walk around with the GoPro to do kind of a follow-up thing, I'll show you the seat belts in, the receptacles in. The seat belt that I had for this side is different. It's out of an 81 to 87 model, so it's different than the driver's side, so I had to get a different receptacle too, so they don't match. But for purposes of driving this around as a shop truck, a work truck, whatever, and not getting pulled over and getting tickets, it legally has seat belts in it now. So next thing I'm going to do is take this dash pad off. In order to get the dash pad off, you have to take the gauge bezel out, which I've already done obviously. And then there's 1, 2, 3, 4 screws under here. And then there's clips up at the top that clip into the dash. I'll show you that once I get it out. I'll just go ahead and pull these 4 screws out. Okay, I got the 4 screws out. Once you get the screws out, you want to take the dash panel and kind of lift up on it. And then you pull back towards you and it pops it out of those clips. And then once you get it out, these are the clips that I was talking about. There's just some little, I'll show you here in a second, there's some cutouts that stick up a little bit in the dash, and those clips just slide into there. This panel here, this truck from the factory is a radio delete, heat only. So it's never had a radio and it only has a heater, so it doesn't have any vents. Up here in this panel, the new dash pad I'm about to show you that I'm putting in has vents there. So I'm going to take this trim piece off. I think I'm going to go ahead and paint it black because the gauge bezel is just all flat black. So I'll just paint this all flat black and that way it'll match better. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this off. It's just got a couple of screws on the back. Most of them are broken off, but if I can get these 2 off without breaking it, I should be able to get it to stay on the other one. So I'm going to do that real quick and then we'll move on to the next thing. Okay, I got that trim panel off of the dash pad. brought it out here to my paint booth. I went ahead and cleaned it with some Simple Green and then wiped it down with wax and grease remover. And then I just got some Duplicolor, once again not sponsored, just what I use. Some low gloss black. I'm gonna go ahead and just shoot some light coats of paint on here. I always want to start with just like a tack coat, like you're not even really getting coverage, you're just getting something on there. And then we'll wait a minute or two and we'll go ahead and put like a coverage coat on it. And then we'll let that kind of sit to dry, and then we'll come back and put 1 or 2 more coats on it. You can probably see I took the emblem off of it. I don't want to paint the emblem. Maybe we'll do something neat with that. Maybe we'll just stick it back on there. I haven't decided yet. But the cool thing about this low gloss black paint is it goes on shiny, and then as it dries, it gets that low like satin finish. So when you're doing in between coats here like this, you can kind of watch it. I'm watching it right now. You can already see it's getting dry. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw another coat on it now. I'll walk you guys back in here and show you the other stuff that I've gotten done that might not have been able to see very good with the other camera. But the door weather stripping's all in on this side. I got the seat belt in. This is one that I had laying around out of a different truck, and it's out of a 81 to 87 model, but I had it and it's tan, so it matches the other one. The only problem is I had another seatbelt receptacle that matched this one, but they're different. The seatbelt wouldn't plug into it, so I had to go get this out of another 81 to 87 truck. So they don't match, but it's a shop truck or work truck, so I'm not that concerned with it for now. I might buy new seatbelts for it later. But there's the door panel all done. There's where the screws along the bottom go in. All the window felts are in and good. Windows are, this window's all sealed up. Still have to do that door. It's the exact same process as this door, so you can see it's pretty nasty up here. I'm gonna get the vacuum and some Simple Green or something and go ahead and try to clean that up real good. And then I got another glove box door, but this one's in good shape, so I'm just gonna take the latch out of this one and the latch out of the other one that I have, and I'll switch those latches. I'll go ahead and film that so you guys can see it. But I got a turn signal switch coming this afternoon, so I can fix the turn signals, and once that's done, all the lights will work. But I didn't go step by step on the wiring for you guys because it's just kind of hard to get in there and see. But I got the windshield wipers working now. They didn't work before, so that's a plus. I got all my headlights, running lights, high beams, low beams, brake lights, all that stuff's working. The only thing I'm lacking in the lights is the turn signals, and like I said, I'm pretty sure that's just the turn signal switch. We'll get it going this afternoon. So pretty happy with it. It'll be nice to be able, I don't go anywhere with it. It's about 6 miles into town. I drive it back and forth to town. That's about it. But the state troopers got to meet their quota every month, you know what I mean? So just trying to, right now I'm just trying to get it where it's a little more comfortable for me, and I don't have to worry about getting pulled over or getting tickets. So I'll go ahead and finish up painting that trim panel for the dash, and then we'll put it in the other dash pad and go from there. All right, I got this dash pad here. It's not new. It's an original out of another truck, and it's not perfect, but it's in a lot better shape than the one that was in here. So I've had it sitting over there on a shelf for a while waiting to put it in this truck. So it's got a lot of dust and stuff on it. Just gonna go ahead and wipe it down with some Simple Green, get all the dust and stuff off. And then I have some leather treatment, cleaner, conditioner I'm gonna put on here, and hopefully it'll put some nutrients in the leather and make it not crack it or anything as much. So this thing's dirty. The truck that it was in sat for a long time before I got it, and then I took it out, took the dash pad out over a year ago, and it's been sitting here. So and I got this leather polish here, cleaner polish, whatever it is. Never tried using this before, so I'm just going to try it on a small area over here where it at the edge, so if it damages it, it won't be that noticeable. Alright, I got it all wiped down. It's looking a little better. It's got some more pliable already. It's soaking it up really fast, so I'm going to kind of let it sit and dry in there a little bit, and then I'll come back and put another coat on and see what happens. Seems to be working pretty good. I don't even know what this stuff is. It's like some leather furniture polish my wife had, cleaner polish stuff. I just figure anything's better than nothing. Try to get some pliability back in it so it's not all dried out and just cracks real easy. Alright, that looks a lot better than it did. I'm probably going to end up getting one of them carpet covers to put on there anyways. So I'm going to let that soak in for a few minutes and kind of dry. And then there's some fuzzy stuff on it from the microfiber I used to put it on. So once it dries up, I'll take cloth or something and wipe it down, and then we'll throw that trim panel back on it and stick it back in the truck. Okay, I went ahead and took the badge that goes on this dash pad trim piece, and I just kind of took a paint marker and cleaned it up a little bit. Doesn't look great, but it's cleaned up a little nicer than it was. Sorry for the wind, it's pretty nasty out there today. I'm going to go ahead and put this stuff back together. Okay. Got that put back on. Dash pad's all cleaned up. Looks pretty good. So I'm going to show you guys how to replace the latch on the glove box door, and then we can throw our dash pad back in. Okay, the glove box door, or the glove box that's in the truck, is in good shape, and the hinge is good and everything like that, but it's missing the knob and everything for the latch, so it doesn't work. So I got this donor one here. I'm going to go ahead and change it out as soon as I can find what I'm looking for. When you're looking at the latch, right here in the back there's a little window there, a little opening. All you need is a pointy tool. You want to make sure that your glove box is latched, the latch is latched, and then you take this in there and you push that in. And then once you get that pushed in, it should come out about that far. Oh well, it's got a gap in it. And then you're going to go back in that window again, and there's a little brass key way. You push it in, and then your whole tumbler piece will come out. So if you want to go farther than this deal here, it's kind of got like a Allen key head in it. You can loosen that up and take that out, and your whole latch will come off. I don't need to do all that because the only part of mine that's broken is this. So I'm just going to go ahead and do the same thing on the one in the truck, and then I'll just replace this piece. There it is. Exact same thing without the end broken off of it. So this one's kind of loose. I'm going to go ahead and tighten it up. Pretty tight now. And then you're going to want to make sure it's in the latch position. Take this. It's all the way back in there now. Just to make sure, we'll go ahead and latch that. Still on latches, so. Now it works. I just noticed that glove box is pretty nasty. All the time the truck sat, I never opened it up because it didn't work, so I didn't do anything with it. So full of mouse poop and who knows what else. So I'm gonna drag the vacuum in here, vacuum that out, and then that'll be done, and we'll move on to the dash pad. Okay, I got the glove box all cleaned up. Time to put the dash pad back in. Got to get up there and make sure those clips get lined up. Another important reason to make sure you put some conditioner or something on there to make this pliable, because when you go to put it in, you really flex it and tweak it, and it'll crack bad if you don't. So got that laid in there. Then we'll just go back and put our 4 bolts back in it. Okay, and then that's all mounted, and then the gauge bezel holds it in on the other side. So I'll move you guys over there because I can go ahead and put the gauge bezel back in now, and then we can finish up the dash here. And then as far as inside the truck goes, the only thing we got left to do this time around is put the new turn signal switch in the steering column. So hopefully the turn signals will work. I'm going to go grab the smaller camera that I can show around more. Actually, I'll wait and do it after we get the gauge bezel and stuff in, and I'll show you guys everything in the interior all done. So move you over to the other side and we'll put the other side back together. Okay, it was getting late and I was needing to get this thing out of the shop because I gotta get some customer stuff back in and get it done. So I went ahead and replaced the turn signal switch and put the seat cover that my wife picked out for me on, and got the dash back together and put the marker lights on the back of the bed. Nothing big, but I'll go ahead and walk you guys around, show you everything, and then we'll finish this one up. So, got the all-important sticker there on the windshield. Got this, we'll say nice seat cover my wife picked out for me. It's actually a really nice seat cover. I'm not gonna say that would be the pattern that I'd pick out, but it doesn't look bad and it'll protect that seat. The seat was dirty, but it was in pretty good shape. So, dash is all back together. These two panels right here, that's the first time those things have been on since I got the truck. I've had it for 2 years. So, I got the door panels on, handles on, window crank, all new weather stripping. We got all new window felts. Got all the lights fixed. We got marker lights, headlights, high beam and low beam. These are the lights I put on the back of the bed on the side. There was holes there, I just wanted to fill the holes, so I put them in. Got the horn working. It never worked before. Got turn signals, they've never worked since I had it. So, I've been driving this thing around like this for 2 years and nobody's ever said anything to me. And then I finally got pulled over and got a ticket, so we decided we were gonna fix her up a little bit. I've been wanting to fix this truck up. I've been collecting parts for it for a while. I bought the door panels about a year ago. I pulled this dash pad out of another truck probably at least a year ago. I had all new lights for it. Got the seatbelt in, the whole reason I got the ticket and started this project. Got this all done. That's the trim piece I painted, got it back in. So, finished up everything that I wanted to do for phase one. I'm gonna come back. I want to put a new vinyl floor mat in it because that one that's in there's in bad shape. The bed, it had a fertilizer spray rig on it, and when they mounted the bed, probably won't be able to see it in here. I'll probably have to have it outside, but you can kind of see it. The bed slopes back from the cab really bad, and it's higher on one side than the other side. So I think they did that on purpose so it leaned so that the fertilizer would hit the back of the tank right. And I can't stand it. It drives me nuts. Everybody tells me, it's no big deal, you don't even notice it. Well, I notice it. I drive it all the time. So phase two, I'm gonna fix that. I didn't get around to fixing the exhaust. I crawled underneath there and I didn't have the stuff I needed to fix it. And the muffler and the tailpipe are kind of janky anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and get a new muffler and tailpipe and stuff for it, and then we'll do that in phase two. Oh, I forgot to show you guys. I got matching sun visors in here that aren't all bent up before. I didn't show you before, but this one was like a dark blue and that one was faded to pink pretty much, and it was all bent. So I'm pretty happy. I never get to work on my own stuff. I don't have time. So I just made time this time because this is what I drive and I can't afford to be getting tickets all the time. So me and my wife and my 9-month-old daughter just took it for a drive. She likes to ride. My 9-month-old daughter likes to ride them down the road in it. So we just took it for a drive because they've been waiting while I've been working on it. So I got it done. We took her for a little ride. She had a great time. But I'm glad you guys watched the video. Thanks again. Please subscribe, like, share, so you can see the next content on this truck and the next project I work on. As soon as I get this out of the shop, we're gonna be bringing the 49 back in. That's gonna be a good one. So make sure you come along for that. So thanks again for watching. Y'all have a good one and we'll see you next time.